Hello everyone, this is Godzilla Wolf 1 with a toy review, and today I will be reviewing the Power Rangers Super Megaforce Legendary Megazord. That is a long name. That probably should not be that long. I think Power Rangers Legends would have worked like a better title. Anyway, as you may have noticed, I have not done a lot of reviews lately, and that's because my real life has kind of been hectic since I graduated from college. Yeah, I graduated from college. I've got a bachelor's in arts and English now. But here's the thing. Life in real life's been hectic, so I haven't had much time to do this, which is part of the reason I now have a Patreon account. Yeah, I have a Patreon account. And I'm also going to start doing like analysis videos as well, and probably some Minecraft stuff. But you're not here for that. If you are, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't know why you would have clicked on a Power Rangers toy review looking for pony analysis or Minecraft. Anyway, this is the primary Megazord for the second half of Power Rangers Megaforce, Power Rangers Super Megaforce, which I don't understand the name or why that is why they said Super Mega. It doesn't make much sense. Anyway, in Japan, this was the Gokaiyo for Kazoku Sentai Gokaiger, which is, as you can probably guess by the fact the red mecha is a pirate ship. It was a pirate-themed Sentai that also could turn into other Rangers. But I think what we've got here is pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the Japanese version in some ways, but in other ways I think it has some improvements. So, yeah. Anyway, let's start with the Super Mega Racer, which belongs to Megaforce Black, Super Megaforce Green. I thought it was actually kind of funny that they didn't tell why they changed the color. Some nice molded detailing there on the side, some little cannons, some panel lines. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Japanese version had a lot of black paint on here. I don't know why that's not on this. But some nice silver paint for, like, the cockpit. A fist not even trying to hide as an engine block. Can't really complain about the design, though, because that's what the Japanese looked like, and there was a reason for it. The Super Megaforce / Gokaiger logo right there. Only paint was really painted on the on the red mecha's chest. Rolls fairly well. It wouldn't really make sense to call it a racer if it did not roll. Oops. Next is the Blue Jet, which has some nice molded detailing, more cannons. Some nice guns there, which I think are better on this side because there's no screw holes to hide them. More guns. Yeah, this guy's lots of guns. Once more, unpainted Super Megaforce logo. Nice silver paint on the cockpit, which has some nice molded detailing in it. Like from this angle, it doesn't look like an entirely impassive little jet until you see the big blocks of kibble, and I have cats. We have cats, so there's cat fur everywhere. There is a fist not even trying to hide down there. But once more, there's a reason for the design, because in the Japanese, they had treasure chest doors that would open up, and you could put stuff in them. So they had to be simplistic, or else that would not work. Next is the Super Mega Sub, which, yeah, there was a lot of black on here, but the top is very nicely painted with some really nice metallic gold paint and that anchorish shape. It kind of looks like a sub, but I think it really needed the black here to break up this white. But, yeah, not much to say about that. It rolls. So does blue. And lastly, last of the 4 limb mecha is the Super Mega Trailer, or Wheeler. Rolls nicely. Though, oddly enough, these are not actual wheels, they're molded plastic. This is the wheel. This is the wheel. And that's an interesting thing. In the Japanese version, this part could pop off, and that's also, in my opinion, an improvement, because in the Japanese version, you snap this off, snap it in there. This one just, does that. Ironically enough, that wheel, they still molded it in, even though there's no reason for it to even exist anymore. But it's like a big wheel, 14-wheeler, oop, bounce the camera. Once more, the unpainted logo there. Now, this one does have some nice molded-in detailing on the side, like the boxcar motif and this trim around there. Now, the actual treasure chest semi-truck thing up here, I wish that were painted, but it has some nice gold plastic, which actually it's not very close to the... Well, actually, it's darker, but it is actually pretty decent match to the gold paint that was used, which is a nice touch. I think, honestly, this particular Megazord would be good for a customizer because there's a lot of molded-in detailing. And finally, the piece de resistance, the Sky Ship, which I like that they called the Sky Ship. This one is really nice in the molded detailing. I'm not even sure if my camera can pick it up. But, you know, there's more cannons. These all have cannons on them. I think the only one that doesn't might be the trailer. Yeah, the trailer is literally the only one of them that does not have broadside cannons molded in. And this one has tons of them. This thing could mess you up. And I like the front. This did not stick together as well as I would like, but I like how the front is well painted. It has some nice gold trim all over the outside. Looking at it from the top, you can't entirely tell that this is going to be a torso, except for the fact it has a visible head right there. Once more, unpainted logo. But this one, I think, has the most detailing on all of them. This one I like, and of course there's the wheel underneath the, like, steering wheel, which is kind of different on this one, how it functions. And wheels. This one does not roll as well. It wobbles, and on, like, a flat surface, it does not roll really at all. I failed to description because you could not see it. But I do also like the one actual painted logo is actually painted very nicely. I like it. It's crisp. But this one I think does the best at what it's supposed to be because while yes there are leg ports serving as boosters, it's not entirely obvious this is a torso. And another thing, this is not bad quality plastic. This is actually pretty good quality plastic. Which is nice, because that is a problem. I'll get to that when we get to robot mode, which I'm going to convert it into in a few seconds anyway. But these swords do not stick in there very well. That is one complaint I have. I like how they're integrated into the vehicle mode. I do like that. But I don't like that they don't stick in, and there's another complaint I have with these when I'll get to robot mode. But overall, as a fleet of vehicles go, I don't think they're terrible, but we've had better. And I can't really blame Bandai of America for that, because in the Japanese version there was a very good reason these had a simplistic transformation, and that was the treasure chest gimmick. Now, let's convert to robot mode. Let's move everything but pink and yellow out of the way. Okay, yellow, very simple, just do that. It can stand on its own. One thing I actually think is to the detriment is, because something Bandai tends to do is mold one of these heel spurs higher than the other so it gives it a lean. I honestly think that's to the detriment of this. For pink, simple, just do this. See, this one does not have that. There's no real flat thing on there, and it could lean to either side. I feel, given how the Zord Builder ports work on this, that is to the detriment that yellow has that, because that limits the amount of combinations you can do. Okay, now for green, pull out the fist. Rotate these, because, okay, they go from there down to here. Oh, wait, no, yeah, that's what they do. Okay. Yeah, they rotate from, and there's actually a little notch right there to keep them in place. Yeah, I I have trouble telling. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be down like that, though. So, and there you have an arm. Next, Jet, pop this off. That'll become a hat. Fold the wings down, and you're done. Very simplistic transformation, but like I said, in Japan there was a good reason for it, and that was that these were all hollow. Okay, now fold these back, and they kind of form shirt tails, which is cool. Fold this up, twist the main sail around, fold it down to form the chest plate. And then combine. And now it's out of my picture frame, so let's rise up the camera. Okay. Now simple arm attach, and split open the shoulders. Okay, that's as high as my this thing is, we need to zoom out a little bit because if that's as high as my camera will go. And then lastly, take that part you took off of blue, snap it in to form a very nice hat. And finally, split the, the front of the ship, I guess that's the bow. Now, these are actually not bad cutlass swords. They actually look pretty cool. But you can store them on the hips, right in these little black places. It's not the easiest thing in the world to accomplish because I'll get to this in robot mode. I mean, when we get to the sword, I'll get to this later. But they do peg into the hips, which I do like that they do that. Because for many of the robot modes, they'll have different weapons. And there you have it, the legendary Megazord, which I am so glad they did not call the Super Megazord. Okay, with the Omega Megazord had a cool name, that would have just been overkill. But overall, nice Megazord. You can tell where the paint detailing was going, because they painted the tops of these, which now form the front of the legs. I like the knee pads. I like how these kind of form big knee pads. Cool chest plate. Cool head. I love the head on this guy. And plus it even has hair molded in the back. Shoulder cannons. You cannot go wrong with gigantic over-the-shoulder cannons. You really can't. And look, even his hat has guns. This is a Megazord that will seriously mess you up. The flag now forms a chest plate. Has hand cannons, which I like. I love that he has cannons there. And overall, not a bad looking Megazord. I think that this is probably one of my favorite Megazords we've had for a while. And I like to go the Gokaiō as well. Articulation, it's a Sentai mecha. It has shoulders, and of course these get in the way, but they do snap. They can come on and off easily. I'm not really entirely sure what these are for up here. I don't think they're used in any of the combinations I know of. You kind of do have a little hip articulation. They can turn left and right. And of course, he can hold his swords. Now, a word of warning about these swords, and these are super floppy plastic, especially these thin handles. I am worried about that. I am genuinely concerned about that. Those are the one thing on this entire toy that I am worried about breaking. Like I said, the plastic quality is pretty good overall. And especially this hand, because, okay, this does not just simply slide in there. It's built so that that you have to force it in from the side, and that sincerely worries me. But I do like the end result, you know, this big Megazord with twin cutlasses. That is awesome. I like that. And also, there are Zord Builder ports everywhere. I mean, there are 3 on the shoulders, 1 in back, 1 on the side, and 1 on the front. Though you have to unfold those wings to get that to work. Same on this side. As you probably saw in vehicle mode, there are 4 Zord Builder ports on the legs. And as a really, I love these ones. There's fold-out Zord Builder ports up here on the shoulders, which means, okay, I don't have it on me. I'm probably going to do another video showcasing the possible combinations you can do. But these ones up here, I love because you can put anything up there that vaguely resembles a gun, and he suddenly has shoulder cannons. That is awesome, and you can close these up, but if you're going to hook anything onto these, you don't want to have the wings folded out. Folded in. But there is, and that also does something else. I don't have the Q-Rex or the Turbo Falcon Megazord just yet. But the thing is, the Japanese version, the final form, was called Kanzen Gokaiyo, but only the middle red mecha was used in it. The arms were from I believe it was called the Gozujin, and the legs were from Mach Falcon. Well, in the American version, because of all these Zord Builder ports, you can actually use, you can take these off, put them as shoulder cannons, give it the Q-Rex's arms. I'm pretty sure you can find something to do with these. And you can actually do a good bit with them. Now, that does come at the price of the fact that these no longer open, so a lot of the gimmick of the Japanese one was gone. Also, ironically, the one that does, I think, the gimmick the most, transforms the most, has the opening chest cavity gimmick. And something I like, I don't think this was the first in the Japanese version, this actually retracts, so you don't have this plank just sticking out of a very unfortunate place of its anatomy. And here's the Ranger key. That is what the instructions say you do with this. There's no cannon. No cannon at all. I know people have griped about that all the time, but I agree with them that this should have had a cannon. Anyway, this is the Ranger key. It's Super Mega Red. It's translucent. It has fantastic gold paint. In fact, I think that this is better. And I dropped it. Okay. I honestly think the Ranger key is better painted than the Megazord itself. That is kind of embarrassing. But overall, I like the Ranger key, and something that the American release has over the Japanese version, if I can get it to work, because it's hard to do. It's spring-loaded. That flips up on its own, and you've got the Super Megaforce logo right there. I don't have a legendary morpher, so I can't show it. But what this does, and I like this functionality if only it worked like it did in the Japanese version. If only this worked as well as it did in the Japanese version. You plug this into the back, and turn it, and that opens. Now, I like that idea. The problem is, this is not used that much. You do not use that gimmick very much. I feel you should have, because that is awesome. I like that. Because in the show, they activate the finishing move or transformations by plugging this into the wheel in front of them and turning it. I like that improvement. I think that is a major improvement. Because I think that gimmick works if they just use it. And one more thing about this. Most of the key is translucent, but this is solid plastic. I like that because that is where the key plugs into. For those that do not know or do not follow TJ Omega, if this were translucent plastic, I'd be scared to death of this breaking. I am completely serious. Because translucent plastic is prone to stress and breakage. So, props to you, Bandai, that's smart. Now, my final thoughts as I put the key back into the recesses of his chest. Okay, I'm just making a real quick mental checklist to make sure that I did not miss anything. Yep, I have not... Oh, yeah, one more thing. This, I'm pretty sure, is still in stores, and it's going to be sold in a 3-pack with the Q-Rex and Turbo Falcon, if you have not collected any of them. I love this thing. I think it is a great toy. I think Bandai really knocked it out of the park. They even fixed some of the problems I feel the original Go-Kaio had. Like, you know, this now being actually a transformation joint instead of having to be taken on and popped back in. For what it is, I think it is a great toy. I give it an 8 out of 10 because the lack of the cannon is annoying. And I feel that it really needed some female Zord builder ports. Yeah, that is one problem I have with this thing, is there's no extra female Zord builder ports, so you can't really do a lot with the red mecha. I'm probably going to do a separate video explaining all the combinations you can do, but this is just, it's got a lot of creativity to it, but because there's no female Zord builder ports, no red mecha can combine with it. So, yeah, that is kind of a problem. But overall, I really like this toy. I give it an 8 out of 10, and I hope you've enjoyed the review. See you later. Bye.